This video is called Sell Anything That Goes Up and Hold Cash.
Oh boy, we've got drama in the market, folks. Nvidia, the most cared about, talked about stock in 2023 and 2024, continues to get hammered. This stock is now down 22+% in the past 2 months. An incredible fall. This one's down about 7% here today. At the top of this video, I want to talk about Nvidia, and I also want to talk about a bunch of other stocks in the market, some of the action we're seeing out there here today. From there, what I want to discuss is AI investor sentiment came out a few days ago. The number's absolutely awful. Investors have gotten extremely bearish on the stock market for the next 6 months. And when I say extremely bearish, I'm talking this is the most bearish number I've seen in probably years. It's certainly the 1-year high as far as bearishness. So I want to talk about that at the beginning of this video as well. From there, we're going to talk about manufacturing data and something very important that came out in that manufacturing data if you're trying to figure out about inflation, recession, all that good stuff. Okay. From there, I want to watch Mr. Tom Lee, everybody's favorite bull, talking about the market bottoming this week. That should be an interesting one to react to, share my opinion and perspectives there. From there, I want to get into this one. Billionaire investor Leon Cooperman basically says he's selling stocks into strength and he's raising cash levels right now. Okay. And so I want to talk about that, react to that video. From there, I want to react to this one. We got him back on the panel. Okay. Mr. Short Hills Capital is back on the panel talking about he just sold Nvidia stock. So that should be an interesting one to react to, right? Yeah, man. I did an interesting post here on X here today. I don't know if you guys follow me on X. I'll put that as a pinned comment down there today. If you guys want to follow me on X, or if you want to follow me on Instagram, I also post some Instagram stories here today. But it's interesting. I did this post on X. I said, let me ask you guys a serious question. Are you still bullish on the Trump stock market the next 3 years and 11 months, or are you bearish? And it was definitely a lot of people have gotten very, very bearish around, let's call it the Trump stock market. So that's just interesting. Okay. All right, guys, appreciate you joining me. As always, got a lot to get into. All I need from you guys, smash that thumbs up button, please. Hit it and hit it again. We got a lot of action going on. And then additionally, if you want to be subscribed to the channel, you can certainly subscribe. We are 80,000 plus subscribers strong. So appreciate every single person for being here. Okay. So Nvidia, let me tell you guys one problem that I don't think gets talked about enough in regards to Nvidia. Okay.
That the trend hasn't worked out in Nvidia for a hot minute. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is mathematically, categorically a bearish trend right now. You've got your outlier trend template, your 10 under the 20, price under the 50. That's a problem with Nvidia. Just putting that out there. Now, of course, it's gone up and down. And like I say, sometimes you lose a buck, sometimes you make a buck. But overall, if you keep your risk in check, you're going to be better off at the end of the day. I mean, remember, this is the same guy who was telling us to buy AMD from at least 150. And this is the same guy who told us that AMD was such a steal at 150, and it's now down 34% in the span of just a few months, down to 98.23. Same guy. Okay. Same guy who's been pumping these stocks. Let's just see what he has to say.
Let me show you. It's going to be right here. Right here, margins. So in regards to Nvidia, right, I told you there's two main concerns with Nvidia right now. One is we're going to see a major deceleration of growth, which is, I don't even think that's debatable. Like, we're going to see a major deceleration of growth as this year ticks on, right? And the growth rates will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so Nvidia will keep growing as far as revenues goes, but the growth rates are going to get much, much smaller. And by 2026, it'll be very, very small numbers compared to what they're putting up right now. So that's a concern number one. But the second concern is really around margins for Nvidia. And there's a belief that Nvidia's margins have peaked. And especially as AMD gets their MI350 into the market, this, we can call it late spring and into the summertime, right? And then as a ramp MI400, right, in 2026, that's going to put more pressure on pricing, and that's all going to happen simultaneously when the biggest tech companies are likely going to not be increasing their AI spend. If we look out to 2026, I think a lot of these companies, the big techs, including many that I own and I know very well, right, Meta, Amazon, a lot of those companies, I think they're going to keep their spend.
Let's go look at Meta, Amazon, and a lot of those companies. Here's Meta. It peaked and is now categorically in a bearish trend. Let's look at Amazon. Oh my gosh, that is categorically in a bearish trend right here, right? You don't have to hold these stocks as they're going down, right? You just don't. You just don't have to hold these stocks as they're going down. There's nobody out there saying you've got to hold them. No, you can hold them for the good times when they're going up, and you can sell out of them on the bad times when they're going down. You can be a fair weather investor all day long. Nobody is winning this game with diamond hands when you're getting absolutely destroyed.
Roughly flat in 2026. That's my belief, right? And so we'll likely see some shifting toward AMD in 2026 and some shifting away from actually Nvidia, which is going to make there's going to be competitive pressures in regards to pricing there, right? So it's just something you have to consider. And that's just, it's just something that's weighing on the sentiment around the stock right now. And that's why Nvidia is having trouble. Doesn't mean it's a bad company or it's doomed or anything like that. It's just, this is what the company's having to go through right now.
And to that point, it can be the best company in the world, but it doesn't have to be the best stock in the world. I say this all the time. All stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right. All stocks have risk, but every once in a while they act right. And because of that, I think people with this long-term mindset get completely suckered into something, and they're like, oh, it has to go up from here. It should go up from here, right? And as Rick said, I'm surprised AMD didn't stop at the 100. Yeah, it's now going to be down at 96 when the market opens this morning. It didn't even slow down. It's just moving down faster than you could imagine. It's gone 88 miles an hour straight down.
And so it is what it is. You just have to kind of accept it, right? Now, as far as housing stocks, these stocks are getting nailed, man. No one wants to own the housing stocks right now. I mean, these ones just continue to feel pressure on pressure on pressure. RH, Whirlpool, stocks like that, I might be interested in getting in here in the next few months. I haven't started positions yet, but if those ones continue to weaken, I might eventually make a move there on some of those. If we look at big tech in general, you know, Nvidia's.
What? Did he just say if those stocks continue to weaken, that he's going to make a move on them? So he's going to call the bottom of them because he's only going to get paid when the price goes up. And how long do you think it's going to take for AMD to go back up? Right? Let's just zoom out just a smidge. AMD is down from this high 57% from this peak on March 8th of 2024. It's down 57%. Do you know the math it would take to get back to that point? If you're down 57% on an investment, it would take a 132% gain to get back to even. A 132% gain to get back to even. Dave said it right there. Why doesn't he just buy more? Yeah, just buy more. Just throw good money after bad. And as one of the greatest traders of all time would say, losers average losers. If you're losing on a trade and you continue to add more, then Paul Tudor Jones is going to come over there. He's going to smack you across the face and he's going to say, losers average losers. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not going to get paid until price goes up. So why are you buying it on the way down? You should be buying it on its way up. I didn't say that. Paul Tudor Jones said it. It wasn't me.
Worst stock of the bunch here today, followed by Avago, Broadcom, right? Down 4+%. Shopify getting hit a little bit here today. And then if we look at my current stocks here, you know, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. You know, Palantir's having a decent day out there. Planet's having a decent day. Celsius, Monster, both having nice green days here today. Wynn Resorts green, Avant green, and
so his stocks that he's talking about here. Let's go through these. So PLNI. Where's my? There it is. So PLNI. Hang on, that can't be right. PLNI. That is definitely not right. What? PLNI. I don't know what that is. It's a 33-cent stock. Bro, don't buy 33-cent stocks. Like, I'm not even going to look at that. Palantir. Okay, Palantir has been one that we've been following for a hot minute, but it's also one that the market has decided it doesn't love anymore. Let me take off my notes here. Palantir is one that people have said they don't want anymore. Right? When it's got this bearish trend, your 10 under 20, price under the 50, yes, it gapped and it went, but now people don't want it anymore. They have voted with their dollars. They don't love it. Celsius. This was such a great example of when I tell you guys about gap and goes and gap and craps. This was a gap up by 30-something-ish% and then crapped all the way back. It round tripped that 30-something%. And you can find that to yourself by just putting a line on the bottom of that first candle up. If it breaks through that candle, gap and crap. If it continues on, gap and go. You don't want a gap and crap. You don't want to own a gap and crap. Monster, MMST. MNST. So Monster actually is in a little bullish trend right here. It's got a couple order blocks ahead, but because of the market being weak, even if this sector was super strong, it's going to be pulling that one stock down. And so while the others are going down too, this does have a little strength, so that's good there. Let's look at Wynn, WYNN. Again, you got a little bullish trend right here. It's inside of an order block. You got an order block up here. You got a bunch of them up here. This one's not so bad. This one's not, it's not the worst that we've seen on here. Look at AVTB, another penny stock, AVTB. No, it doesn't even show up. ABTVF? I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to look at it. Penny stocks are worthless. AMD. We all know AMD. AMD is the advanced money destroyer. Goodbye. PayPal. Again, PayPal has been another stock that is just like worthless to me. Why would you own this? Please explain. Why would you own this? It gapped down and has been just selling off ever since that point. And it's got order blocks all over the place here. It might find a bounce right here. We'll have to see. Meta, we looked at that one. Nike, NKE. This one's getting a little bit of a bid right here. It's moving up a little bit. So, I mean, some of these are decent. Some of these are bad. Some of these are really bad. But that's the point of having a portfolio, right? Of course, they're going to be in different things.
AMD actually green here today, right? Which is very surprising to see AMD green today, considering how bad Nvidia is getting hit, which shows you what we have something very interesting going on in regards to AMD and Nvidia now at this point in time. Those two stocks have started the process. It's very important. Everybody understands this. AMD and Nvidia have now started the process of divergence. Many times those stocks can kind of move together, up or down, all around. Those stocks have started to diverge now at this point in time, where for the next 2 to 3 years, AMD is going to make whatever move AMD makes based upon what's going on with that company's financials over the next few years, which are going to be very, very exciting. We're going to see massive acceleration.
Oh, geez. Yes, AMD is going to do whatever AMD is going to do. Okay, I agree with that.
In revenue growth, in margin growth, in profitability growth. Whereas
and we may have accelerations in revenue growth, profit growth, etc. But that doesn't mean that the stock is going to go up from there. It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't mean that. And in fact, if you look at it, these projections that they have, people aren't liking their projections.
Nvidia is going to see massive decelerations of revenue growth, of margin growth, of profitability, right? And so you're going to see a major divergence that has just started. Like today, with AMD being green and with Nvidia being down, 6% or so, that's just the starting process of a multi-year divergence. No, that doesn't mean Nvidia is doomed to only go down for the next 2 or 3 years. Nvidia could still go up, but it's not going to go up nearly as much, in my opinion, at least, based upon what I see happening here. It's not going to go up nearly as much as AMD will go up over the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, geez. Ugh. See, this is why I do this, right? Somebody coming out and saying, this is going to go up. Not only is AMD going to go up, but it's going to go up way more than Nvidia could ever go up over the next several years, as it's now down into the 95s pre-market this morning. Somebody needs to tell Jeremy. Can y'all go over? Don't say Chris sent me like you did on those Pat Baloney videos, which I really like. I do want to work with Pat, but I want you to go over and I want you to start commenting on all the Jeremy videos. I want you to say, only price pays. Only price will pay, Jeremy. And if the price is going down, you're going to lose money. And if you continue to add to it, you're still going to lose money. Bro, this is brutal. He's setting so many people up for such pain. In fact, I was looking at some of the comments here. Congratulations on everyone who's hitting record lows with me. Yeah. I don't want to buy the dip anymore. The dip never ends. Let's see, a friendly reminder not to get loans or go into debt to buy stocks on margin. It never ends well. Do what you can with what you have, and good luck to everybody. Let's see. I won't sell anything to buy the dip because I haven't finished buying all the stock I want yet. I won't sell any stock I own, even if they're red, and will keep on buying stocks monthly from what I can spare. Market go up or down, I don't care. I'm here for the long run and not just for fun. You're not going to be here for the long run. You're not. Sorry. I can't stand it. I know they planned it. I'm gonna set straight this marketplace. It's sabotage. Holy smokes, this dip ain't no jokas. I already spent all my cash on the dips, and yet all that cash has been evaporating. Right? Will AMD go up? Maybe at one point. But you don't have to buy it on its way down. You don't have to buy it on its way down. No way.
Which is, if we look at the last 2 or 3 years, Nvidia clowned AMD. Like they got out there first and they had, the great growth rates and all that stuff. And, now we're going to see the inverse of that essentially. And so, this is a divergent cycle that's going on in regards to those stocks. Meta's flirting with going green here today. We'll see where that one finishes up. Meta's still on the pace to be $1,000 plus within the next 24 months. It's just a question of does Meta hit $1,000 this year or does it take till next year for them to hit 1,000? But they're still headed there, right? Nike continues to show strength despite market weakness. I mean, look at the NASDAQ today, down 1.4%. Look at crude oil down big. Look at the Dow down big, right? Nike's holding up very well. Tesla getting hit a little bit, Honest getting hit a little bit, but that one, that one's just, the Russell's down 1.3%, Honest is down barely over 1%, so it's actually outperforming the market today. That's actually not bad. So, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of buying opportunities out there that I'm seeing. If we look at commodities, I want to go. Dude,
frick no. There's no buying opportunities out there. When the market, in fact, let's go to this. Let me introduce myself. I know I'm this random guy on the internet. Who am I? Well, my name is Chris Friul. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards. They're the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009. Although I'll be very honest with you, I've blown up my account twice in that time. So not every day was successful, but I learned a lot of lessons. And this is where outliers like us save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, to the slide that I wanted to show you. When the market is weak, here, this is what I want to show you. When the market trend is weak, when the market breadth is weak, when the SPY has a sell signal, and then your sectors are also weak, that to me is what I call the master key. The master key. And in fact, I am short by a long puts SCCO, which is a metal stock, Southern Copper. So somebody would say, you know what? Why would you be short copper? Wouldn't metals go up as the stock market goes down? Maybe, but also I can only trade with what I see. And what I see right here is a bearish trend. And when I see a bearish trend, I'm looking for opportunities. So let's go through this real quick. We have the sell signal on the SPY. The SPY got a sell signal on February 13th. Since the sell signal came through on February 13th, let's just mark where that was. February 13th. Almost the high, by the way, almost the exact high. Close to close, the SPY's down almost 4.5%. So that's the first thing. When we get a sell signal on the SPY, I'm not interested in buying anything. Next, market breadth. That measures how many stocks are on the bull list here. And if we go to market breadth, we can see that market breadth has been really tanking. Last couple of days, it may have flattened out. But market breadth has been going down since it peaked on January 27th, which was the last day that I was in the market. Market breadth has been going down, more and more sell signals, less and less buy signals. And then let's shift gears over to the materials sector. The materials sector, which is where SCCI is located. Let's go over here. You can see constituent heat map is materials. And then we put the titanium at, you can see the materials sector is even worse than the market itself, just selling off hard and fast. So for me, he's about to talk about metals, it sounds like. There's no metals you could get me to. There's no metals that you could get me to buy. No stock in the metals you could get me to buy. And I put my money where my mouth is right now because I'm short SCCO as of right now. So I'm very curious to see what he has to say.
Go to GSG here. GSG continues to fall pretty darn rapidly.
All right, let's look at GSG. GSG. iShares Commodity Index Trust Fund. I think this is a gold ETF. I'm not owning that. Can you tell me why? Right? You know it. It's the Outlier Trend Template. Your 10 is under the 20, price is under the 50. And again, like I say, just because these correlations exist in the past doesn't mean that they will continue to exist. And if this stock is going down, GSG, you aren't going to be the one guy. I'll put it to you this way. You will not be the one guy who is like this, buy, and then everybody else starts buying after you. You're not this dude. It's never going to happen. No way. But if everybody is out there selling it, you need to be one of those people selling it. You don't want to be the one guy staring at everybody selling it in the face and say, oh, I'm going to buy it right here.
I mean, geez, just a 5-day on this one. A 5-day GSG is down about 3%. That's big for the commodity index. To be down about 3% in 5 trading days, that's pretty substantial, right? Which shows you there's definitely recession fears out there, which leads me to AI investor sentiment. Numbers really bad, man. You know, investors have gotten very bearish. 60% plus of folks that do the AI investor sentiment numbers are bearish on the stock market for the next 6 months. If we pull up historical data here, let's go ahead and download complete history. Okay, I'll show you guys this here. Let's pull this baby up because this is very fascinating. We might have to go back to 2022 to see a number as bearish as that. Let's go ahead and see here. So we want to keep our eyes right here. Okay, see that bearish right there, right? And so we're all back in 1987. Let's get it all the way caught up here. Okay, so this is our recent number. We're over 60% bearish. Okay, we're going to look for a 60 number here. See how bullish the market's been for quite a while? Look at that, only 20%, bearish for quite a while now. So right here, this was November 2nd, 2023. There was 50% bearish. Okay, still haven't found a 60 number. Oh my gosh, look at this, guys. Look at this. We've got to go all the way back to September 29th, 2022, when the market was getting obliterated, to find investors that bearish on the stock market. Now, the interesting thing is, in regards to that, right, The stock market bottomed very shortly after. Stock market bottomed around October, November 2022.
And it totally could, right? This is not one of those channels where I'm going to say this one stock is going to go up for years, like AMD, right? AMD. This is not that channel. Trends change, and I'll be the very first to say trends change. If I'm bearish to stock and the trend changes, trends change. If I'm bullish, like I was in Palantir, and the trend changes, trends change, right? That doesn't mean that this is a permanent thing, and it doesn't mean zero, or it doesn't mean food stamps or Lambo, right? You as a trader need to be adaptable to what the market is giving you. See what it is. It's like reading music, right? At one point when you got in band class, you didn't understand how to read music, but you were in it for a couple years, maybe even a few months, and you're like, oh, okay, I see how to read the music now. You as investors, you as traders listening to us here on the Outlier channel, you see that. You can see the market changes. You can see, you know exactly how to read it. You throw the Outlier Trend Template on, you can look at any stock within 3.3 seconds and tell if it's bullish or bearish. Right? SMCI. This is one of those meme stocks lately. It had a huge move up and it has a huge move back down, right? The trend has changed. The trend has changed. That's okay.
And so very shortly after that horrible 60% plus number came out, the stock market actually bottomed, right? So I find...
Okay, Steve, I have to interrupt. Steve says, has he changed his channel name yet? This was the Jeremy Lefebvre Makes Money channel. It should be called Jeremy Lefebvre Loses Money channel. Very good, very good. I appreciate that.
Fascinating. And I actually find that as a pretty bullish signal. That's actually extremely bullish signal. If you ever see that number get over 60%, it usually means buy, 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 buy. Because I can tell you, if you were buying stocks September 22nd, 2022, and stocks...
I just need a minute. When it reaches this certain level, as it's on its way down, that means buy, buy, buy. That's what he's trying to tell you. Buy, buy, buy.
September 29, 2022, you were getting steal deals all over that market. You didn't get the absolute low, but you got very close to the lows on all the big tech stocks at that particular time. You could look back at the stock market chart. Now, if we go back to the great financial crisis times, right? And let's see where things were at back then in 2008. So right here, look at this. October 9, 2008, 60%, 60.8% went bearish on the stock market for the next 6 months. What a phenomenal time to be a buyer of stocks. I can tell you, if you were buying stocks, October 9, 2008, it was a...
It's so dumb to me when people look at the history and they're like, oh, when you see this number, that means you got to buy because historically it has gone up, right? And it may go up. It may go up. But that doesn't mean it's going to go up like 500%, like he wants to claim all these things will happen. It may be the bottom, and it may be when it starts to go up. But looking at these historical numbers here, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can't see like the far right-hand side of the chart right here. They got it blocked off, right? They only release it one day at a time. But in the meantime, the far right-hand side over here, like it's they just drip it out one day at a time. Unfortunately, they don't let us see the far right-hand side of the chart. So you can only trade on what's showing right now. And because of that, when the market is going down, let the market go down. Let it find its bottom first. Don't look at any indicator like he's talking about here, any number. The only number that matters is price. And when price starts going back up, that's when I would be interested. That is when I'd be interested. So it's time to rank this video. We didn't get hardly any through that video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to continue to talk through that video here. So let me see. Where's yesterday's slide deck? Here we go. So this is the rankings so far this week. We've got one from Tom Nash and one from Tory Trades. The one from Tom Nash was not as brutal as the one from Tory Trades. That one was awful. If y'all caught the live stream yesterday afternoon, it was really disgusting. I hated that video so much. How you going to rank it? That's what I don't know. Bruno Mars is here. Bruno Mars. Wow. Glad you made it, Bruno. All right, let me grab my little screen capture real quick. Let me grab my little screen capture. And let's come back over to here. All right, where are we ranking this? See, ones, twos, threes. Looks upside down. Twos. Oh, I did move this so it's the S. I flopped it for you guys because YouTube loves the tiers, so I wanted to make tiers out of this. F tier for sure. 2, -1, 2, 2, 1. So no, dadgum. I knew this was coming. Nobody gets a 7. Okay, not anybody, especially not Jeremy. Nobody's gonna get a 7. Manny says 1.5. Rob says 3. Brian says 3. The financial roadmap. Tom Nash? Tom Nash's profile picture. Chris, crazy weekend. We'll get to, Tom Nash changed his name to the financial roadmap. Price don't matter. I also vote 7. I assume that that's Tom since he said he's going to get back to me. Dude, no stress. No stress at all. All right. There's Tom Nash. Also, price don't matter. Price do matter. That's the only way you're going to get paid. No, nobody gets a 7. All right. Oh, that was his second channel. Okay. No stress. Mofo gives it a 2. I'm going to throw it into I'm going to throw it in 1.5. I'm going to agree with Manny. I like a 1.5 because this is absolutely forgettable and very painful, right? I'm sure that the people who are leaving these comments right here, I'm sure the people leaving these comments are not in a very happy place, right? I already spent all my cash on dips. Buy the dips as much as possible. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's brutal over there. But the thing is that you really don't have to stress. Tom, did I score my usual 2 on a 350K video? I think it was a 2.5. I think it was a 2.5. So that's where I'm going to rank it at 1.5. I appreciate all of your rankings on there. Hey, don't forget, you can save 64% on the annual pass, which is just 82 cents a day over at outlier.com. And if you're already on a monthly trial, just shoot us an email and we'll upgrade you. We'll take care of the rest. No problem. So I want to ask you real quick, what do you think? I've started doing these polls and I want to get your opinion on some things. This poll coming through this morning, the stock market is never obvious. It's designed to fool the most people most of the time. What do you think? Where would you vote this? Would you say, yes, it's a trap, only a few survive, or no, it's a puzzle, learn the rules? I want you to go over to my YouTube channel. I want you to vote real quick, and we'll take a look at that in just a couple minutes here. For me personally, I actually think it's a puzzle. And once you learn the rules, and don't let me influence your vote. Go vote how you want to over on my channel. I feel like if somebody else could be successful at this, why can't I? If the market wizards have been doing this for 20 years and they made money, why can't I? Why can't I? But one of the rules is buying into strength. Buying into strength. PDM, price don't matter, or Pelosi determines the market. Yeah. Buy into strength, in my opinion, is the only way that this works here. So go vote on my channel real quick, and we'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, put your stocks in the chat. Put your stocks in the chat. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Put your stocks in the chat. Let's take a look at a few of them. I want to do more on the outlier side on these. That way we can see the fear and greed index, because most likely they're all looking pretty ugly. They're all looking pretty ugly, at least on my screen over here. Except for AMD. This is the one time ever it's going to go up. Just let's look at the SPY. We can look at the SPY. We can look at the SPY. Close a couple tabs up here. Let's look at the SPY. SPY. We can look at the SPY. All right, we got the sell signal. Let me zoom in on this. New charts are coming here in a couple weeks, by the way. I'm very excited about the new charts. Sell signal came on February 13th. You can see the fear and greed rating continue to get a little bit more greedy and then sold off really hard. Now, this is interesting to me. And I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. So the constituent map, this is everything that makes up the S&P 500. This is the S&P 500 ETF itself. The ETF got a little bit more greedy before started selling off, whereas the average of what was inside the ETF started to get more fearful, a little bit less greedy, a little bit earlier than this. And I noticed that, and I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, I guess, that there was a divergence between the two there. But yeah, the S&P looks really, really weak. Joe wants to look at PRVA. PRVA. So this is Priva Health and the healthcare sector. Let's take a look at the healthcare sector right now. It did get a buy signal today, Joe, of all days. It's got a buy signal. Now, this one is getting more greedy. That's what you do want to see. However, the healthcare sector is going from the greed a couple weeks ago down into the fear. Because of that divergence right there, I would definitely make sure you keep your risk in check. Let's check the 10, 20, 50 right here. Does have a bullish trend. So this could be one of those that's going to outpace the market. And if you find a stock like this, there was a couple we looked at yesterday too. If you find a stock like this where it's outpacing the market, if the market were strong right now, if that sector were strong, it would be like a slingshot even higher. So while we do have that buy signal on there, just keep your risk in check. Know where your risk is at. AMD, the one candle, we're back, baby. Actually, I do want to look at AMD because I know a lot of people have asked why AMD has a buy signal. And I'll try and explain that here because here's a pro tip that I found. A sell signal in a downtrend, like what started here back in October, a sell signal within a downtrend is actually a sell to go short, in my opinion. And this buy signal right here would actually be a buy to close the short. So let's say, for example, if you bought puts in October, you could have closed them here in January for a really nice profit. But this is not a buy to go long point, not at all. Look at this. The heat map value is getting even more fearful now. It started to get slightly less fearful. It's starting to get more fearful though, while the tech sector is getting more fearful. And the 10, 20, 50 is all pointing south. So the Outlier Trend Template is definitely in a bearish mode right there. AMD is more of a short opportunity for me, for sure. Esau wants to look at OKTA. OKTA. So OKTA, we have a sell signal going on. Let me zoom this in. And sell signal came right near the top, February 5th on this one. And you can see just a couple days later, it started to sell off. It reached a decently high peak. The oscillator goes from 0 to 50. It was at G30 at that time, so 30 out of 50. And then the tech sector, as we know, has been getting more fearful. This one is starting to get more fearful as well. So this one may be a great short. It may be, for sure. Thanks for that one. Chief wants to look at GLD. So this is the gold ETF. And sell signal came just a couple days ago. Let's zoom this one in. Sell signal came on February 24th, like almost a top candle, was it? GLD? February 24th? Which was the actual top candle? February 20. It was the top candle. That's pretty awesome. Sell signal came right at the very top candle. And the greed value had reached a greed of 39. So 39 out of 50. Getting a little less greedy. The materials sector also getting a little more fearful. So GLD, it did close under the 10 EMA. It even closed under the 20 EMA twice. So I don't know if GLD has the legs to push back up, but if it closes above the 10 EMA right here, then GLD absolutely has reversed its short-term trend. Remember, take a screenshot of this. These are your trend templates right here. These are the signals, right? If it's above the 5 EMA, which there's a lot of noise around the 5 EMA, it's a very strong momentum. If it's above the 10 EMA, it's the indicator of the short-term trend, right? So if it closes above the 10 EMA, the trend may be changing. That's going to wrap it for me today. Be sure. Oh, actually, let's go see what you guys left or how you voted. Yeah, that's it right there. Let's go see how you voted on that poll real quick. I'm really curious to see. All right, the stock market is never obvious. It's designed to fool the most people most of the time. What do you think? It's a puzzle. Learn the rules, and you should be good to go. That's what you guys have voted. So I can agree with you on that. But I don't want you to vote the same way I do. I want you to, of course, tell me in the comments if you disagree with that. But tell me in this chat what you're trading, and be sure to come back tomorrow where outliers like us will help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. Now, YouTube is going to pop up a couple recommended videos. I recommend you click one of them, and I also recommend you come to this afternoon's live stream, and I'll see you later on today.